Hello everybody and welcome back to another beautiful day here in Indiana. Hey, it's 50 degrees out today. It is January 15th, 2020. I just checked on the hive. The girls are just now getting up. They're getting out, flying, doing some cleansing flights, gathering some pollen. It's going to be a beautiful day. Okay, today's video, we're going to cover catching bees or getting your bees. It is January. There's not a lot of blooms here in Indiana yet. I've seen a few dandelions popping up in the yard here and there. Nothing major yet though. Around other parts of the country, I've been watching people's videos, and yeah, your bees are thriving, especially down south. They're getting red maple and other things. Things are hopping already. That's great. That's awesome. But if you're farther north and there's not a lot going on yet, and you don't have your bees or you want to get bees, now's the time to be ordering them. And you can order a nuke or you can order packages, however you do it. It's best to get your bees from a local source if you can, because you know that they've been through a winter where you live, so you know they're strong enough to handle it. You can buy your bees, but that's not the only way to get them. Here is a swarm trap. This is a way to get feral bees, free bees, pun intended. Everybody likes a freebie. This is a 40-liter swarm trap, and I built 9 or 10 of these. This is one that I had hanging up in the field last year. How this works is, here's the entrance for the bees when you've got a swarm that's looking for a place to live, and the scouts are out checking things out. They're looking for a home, a suitable home, better than where they're at now. So your hopes is that they'll find this. And how this works is, there's the entrance. On the back side of this, how this mounts to the tree is, this is called a French cleat. I've cut this piece of wood in this L shape, and you would mount this to the tree. You'd mount this to the tree like this, and then set your box right down over, and that holds it there. And then you can put a ratchet strap around it, hog tie everything down nice and tight. Inside of this box, it's got a telescoping cover, and I've got a homemade inner cover. You wouldn't have to have it out of wood. I've seen them made out of burlap sacks, feed sacks, so plastic feed sacks, cut them. You definitely want to have something in there, because when your bees are in there and you don't get to them fairly quick, they will propolize this cover to that box, and you'll have to have a jackhammer to get it apart. Inside this box, I've got 5 Langstroth deep frames with foundation. As you can see, there's plenty of dead space down underneath here. And the reason for that is, when the bees come in, they're looking for a bigger, better place than where they're at now, right? Okay, so when they come in, a scout bee will come in the entrance and will walk the entire surface area of the inside of this box. And when they walk that, what they're doing is they're measuring that cavity to see if it's better than where they're at now. So if they like it, you would put your lemongrass or your swarm commander attractant and put that in there. Usually do a spray at the entrance, and then a quick spray on top of the frames. Close it up, put your cover on, hang it up in your tree. They say that, I've read and I've heard multiple opinions on this as far as height in the tree. I've watched people catch swarms 5 foot off the ground. And I've watched people catch swarms 30 foot off the ground. I don't think there's, in my opinion, I don't think there's a real science to it. What works, what doesn't. It just depends on your area, depends on your bees. Maybe it doesn't depend on anything. Maybe it's just by chance. I don't know. But anyway, there is a swarm trap. That's how that works. That's a good way to catch free bees. But it's not the only way. Let me show you something. I ran across this, about a week ago. This is a Honeybee Locator. And how this works, okay, this box has 2 chambers. Rear chamber and a front chamber. Okay? What you would do, let's say you're out, we'll call it a Saturday afternoon, sun shining, flowers are blooming, you're out for a walk in the field, you want to go find honeybees. That's a great way to get bees, the swarm trap. The problem is, you have to wait for them to find it. With this, you go find the honeybees in the field and let them take you to their house. Alright, so how this works is, you get out in the field, alright, you see honeybees on the flowers. Say it's in the fall and you got goldenrod on, or if it's in the spring, whatever the flowers may be. What you're going to try to do is you're going to go up to the plant and close that in around the plant, and you're going to lock that honeybee inside of this rear chamber right here. Okay? Behind this front chamber is a piece of plexiglass. Your bee is now in this chamber. What you're going to do is you're going to pull this center divider up, and the bee will automatically try to go to the light. So they're going to come up to this end, and once they're trapped into this end, put your divider in. You can put your cover back down in to close off the light, and now you go get another bee. When you get about 5 or 6 bees in here, and you'd have this sitting on a table, just grab your lawn chair, you're out there for the day getting some fresh air, you're relaxing. You've got 5 or 6 bees now in this front chamber, okay? You're going to open this up, and what you would use is a piece of, what works best is a little piece of honeycomb, about that big around, and you're going to set that inside this rear chamber right back here with sugar water down in the cells. And then you're going to close this up. I got a little rubber band on this one just to help keep it closed. And now you're going to pull this divider out like so and put a towel over it, and that darkens the whole box. And what happens is the 5 or 6 bees that are in this chamber will want a piece of that sugar syrup, and your hopes is that they'll wander back, they'll start lapping up that sugar syrup. You want to wait, be patient, wait about 5 minutes or so, and pull your cover off, and then very slowly open up this back cover. And what's going to happen is those bees, you want to do it real slow because you don't want to startle them. What's going to happen is those bees are going to fly out, and they love what you just offered them for a free lunch. So they're going to fly out, and they're going to do some orientation flights, and then they're going to take off. They want to remember where this box is. They want to know where it's at. And they're going to take off. So what's going to happen is you wait a few minutes, and they're going to make a beeline towards their hive. And you kind of got to watch them, see which way they go. Well, then when they come back, that's when the fun starts. You're going to need a compass, you're going to need a watch, and you're going to need a notebook. And what you want to do, you pull that honeycomb out and put it right here on this landing ramp. The bees will come back from their beehive and they'll come right back to this source. And when they drop down and stick their tongue down in that cell to get another drink of that sugar syrup, then you want to take a marking pen and get you a half a dozen different colors: green, blue, red, orange. You want to put a spot of paint on their thorax or on their abdomen. And after you do that, when they get loaded up on sugar syrup and they take off again, that's when you want to grab your compass, grab your pen and your notebook, and look at your watch. When they leave, you want to write down which bee it was: red thorax or orange abdomen or whatever the bee is. Write that down, grab your compass, write down exactly which direction that they flew away from you, and write down the exact time when they left. They're going to fly right straight to they're going to make a beeline right straight to their hive and unload all of that sugar syrup that they just hogged up, that you gave them for a free lunch. And then they're going to come back, and when they come back, that's when you want to look at your watch and you want to see how many minutes it took for them to leave your area, go back to their hive, and then fly back to your area. And that'll give you an idea, and that will tell you approximately how far they are away. There's a mathematical equation, but basically you can figure it up that there is 5,280 feet in a mile. The honeybee flies in a straight line on average about 15 miles per hour. They can do a little faster if they're not loaded down with pollen and nectar, or if they're really loaded down, they might be a little bit slower, but on average about 15 miles per hour. So if you figure that out, and you got a time to keep in mind, they're doing a round trip, and when they get back to the hive, they aren't just going back, dumping off and leaving. They've got to go back and hand off everything that they brought in. They've got to hand that off to a worker that's inside of the hive. That worker will put that where it needs to go in each cell. So that forager flies back to the hive, waits their turn, gets rid of their load, and then leaves and comes back to your area for another drink. Chances are they're probably going to do a waggle dance while they're there, and they're going to bring some friends with them, and that's fine. So when they get back, you want to time it, and you can kind of figure if it takes them 2 to 3 minutes to fly out and fly back and come right back to your area, you know they're pretty close, and you've watched the compass, so you know kind of what direction they flew out in. If it takes 5 to 6 minutes, you can figure they're probably half a mile away. If it takes 10 minutes or so, you can figure they're probably a mile or a little bit more away. Figure the bees are flying about a quarter mile per minute at 15 miles per hour, or roughly 1,320 feet per minute a honeybee can fly. So this is great. So now you've collected your data on your first flights, and you've watched them do that a couple, 2 or 3 times. Just sit there, be patient, and once you get to that point, now you want to start moving closer. You want to try to zero in. Say you're 5 minutes out from flying away. They fly away, do their thing, and then fly back, and it takes them 5 minutes, roughly half a mile away. Well, you want to find the tree or the stump or wherever their hive is. That's your goal. So what you'd want to do is, before they get back, take the comb that you've had sitting on the landing ramp on the back door and slide that inside. And when they come back inside, when they come back, they're going to go back inside and get some more of that sugar syrup. When they do, slowly close this up and lock them in there. Put your rubber band over it, tuck it away, pick up your stuff, grab your lawn chair, and walk in the direction that you've seen them go. You don't want to walk a long way because you don't want to overshoot the hive. Just do it baby steps at a time. 200 to 300 yards, and then stop. Set your box back down. Usually set this down so it's facing the south when you start, and every time you set it down. And what'll happen is those bees that are inside of here, when you open this back up real slow, they are going to come out once again. They're going to come out. They're going to do some orientation flights, kind of, because they want to remember that spot, but you've moved them now. So now it's a new spot to remember. They'll fly around, they'll do some circling, and then they'll take off. And you start back over and you do your timing again. Check it with your compass, double check it. Check it with your watch, see how many minutes it takes them to go out and come back. And you're going to repeat this process, and eventually those honeybees are going to take you right to their house. And that's another way to catch some freebies without having to wait for them to come find your swarm trap. This would be a fun, interesting afternoon to be able to go do this. I cannot take credit. I'm not taking credit for this idea. This is something that's been done for hundreds of years. I am going to take credit for the fact that I just ran across this concept and idea about a week or so ago. And like most things, when I'm on YouTube watching videos and I'm like, man, that's a cool idea. I wonder if I can build one of those. So I did. I will put a link in the description, and I will put a link to the channel where I got this idea from. This was actually, there's a Dr. Tom Seeley at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York, up in upstate New York, that has done extensive bee research and videos, and he's the one that I watched his video of him doing it, and that's where I got this cool idea. So, well, I hope everybody liked this video. I hope you found it helpful, informative, entertaining, best of all. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. If you're already a subscriber to this channel, thank you. I appreciate that. If you're not and you like this content and you want to see some more of it, well, give it a thumbs up for me. Let me know you like it. And if you would, subscribe, hit the bell for get your notifications. I've got some other ideas for some different projects, and I'll be doing different things, and I'll try to video along the way to maybe it'll help somebody out. I like to help other people, and you know, I've gotten a lot of help along the way. Since I got into beekeeping, I have met some cool people, and I just want to share that. I just want to pass that along to other people too. I am not a cabinet maker or a carpenter by trade. I'm just a good old boy with some tools, and I enjoy being out in the garage. I enjoy tinkering and building stuff out of wood, and this is all made from just scrap wood that I had laying around. I got it done, put a coat of polyurethane on it, kind of try to make it look nice. So, yeah. Until next time, y'all have a beautiful day.